What's up YouTube? It's Thomas DeLauer, and yesterday I posted up a video talking about intermittent fasting versus time-restricted eating. And I know it's early, but I wanted to get this out here as soon as humanly possible before a lot of confusion really broke out. I am very, very loyal to my subscribers, so whenever I see that there's some confusion on a specific video or anything like that, I want to do whatever I can to clear the air and make sure you understand exactly what I was saying, because there's a lot of confusion surrounding if you should fast every day and some of the things that I talk about. So I want to make sure that I address this, and this is honestly, this is how I like to operate my channel. I like to operate with as much integrity as possible. So the fact that there was some confusion on there, I want to just hop on live and address this issue because it's actually quite simple, and I think I just didn't articulate it very well in the video, so I apologize to that. So I want to break this down. Guys, give me 2 seconds. What I want to do really quick is I need to grab the link from this live broadcast and I need to put it into Messenger so I can send it out to a couple other people. So just bear with me really quick. I want you in the meantime to go ahead and let me know where you're commenting from. This way I can shout you out. What's going on in New Jersey? What's going on in the UK? What's going on in Italy? Wow, we've got a lot of people here. Guys, give me 1 second. I'm just grabbing this link because I need to get this out to my list because a lot of people are wondering about this topic. So here we go. 1 second. Okay, all right, and we are now in business. All right, I'm sorry about that. I needed to get that out. Okay, we got Columbus, Georgia. We've got Missouri. We've got Kansas. We've got Colorado. We've got Andy in Connecticut, UK, Thailand, Australia, Surprise, Arizona, North Carolina, Miami, Belfast, Santa Clarita. I hope you are doing okay with the fires so that you guys know I'm in Ventura County, so these fires are close if you're hearing about these California fires. India, UK, Houston, India, Israel, Baltimore, Maryland, South Africa, India, Paraguay, Austin, Puerto Rico, Sweden. You guys are amazing. Holy cow. If you guys can, if you're on this broadcast, if you can, just hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. Helps get this out there so that everyone that's a subscriber of mine, people on YouTube, can see this video. The more people that like it, the more people that are going to be able to see it and be able to clear up some of this confusion, because quite honestly, I have to fall on the sword. I feel bad because the video that I posted yesterday left some ambiguity and left a lot of people confused, and I want to talk about this. So let's make sure that we get as many people on here as possible so that I can talk about this one time and clear it up so that you guys definitely understand what I meant. What's going on, Israel? Good to see you here. Maurice in Columbus, Ohio. What's going on? We've got Las Vegas in the house. We've got London. We've got Riverside, California, Plano, Texas, Philippines, Thailand, South Carolina, Romania, Hamburg, Serbia. A lot of people on this broadcast. Maybe the mornings are the way to do these. Holy cow. I'm actually in my studio right now. You see it, you recognize this. We're going to be filming a lot of content today, so I'm already in the studio getting ready to film. Figured, okay, while we're prepping for this, let's talk about this. So bear with me for just another couple of minutes. I'm waiting for a lot more people to come on because I have a lot of people that are joining this broadcast. It's growing by the minute. So I'm gonna keep shouting people out. Don't worry, I'm gonna get to the meat of this in like 2 minutes. I just wanna wait for a few more people. Trinidad, what's going on? We've got Sherman Oaks again, Deep South, McAllen, Texas. We've got Canada, we've got Maryland. We've got a lot of people. West Point, Missouri. We've got, Mississippi. We've got Iowa, Brazil, Dallas, Poland, Philippines, again, New York, Dominican Republic, Germany. Thank you guys. You guys are super awesome. Rochester, New York, Barbados, Syracuse, New York, New Jersey, Istanbul. What's going on in SoCal? El Paso, Texas, Greece, Bradenton, Florida, Finland, India, Wales, Las Vegas, Guatemala, South Windham, Connecticut, Woodland, California. Holy cow, I am impressed. You guys are awesome. This is like already proven to be the most successful broadcast just by how many people are already on this. So if you can, if you're watching this broadcast, I do have to ask you to please hit that little thumbs up button, hit that like button. It's gonna rank it really high, get a lot of people on here. I can settle this issue once and for all, fall on the sword, apologize to a lot of people for the confusion from the last video. I just want a lot of people on here first. Someone says must be a slow day at work. It must be, because there's a lot of people here. Maybe I need to definitely do these in the morning more often. Okay, so I'm gonna get right to the topic now. You guys keep on commenting where you're watching from as I go. It's totally fine. If you have questions, go ahead and post them up. I will try to get to them, but I wanna go ahead and explain the situation. So yesterday I posted up a video talking about time-restricted eating versus intermittent fasting, okay? Let me clarify that whole thing, and if you want, after this video, you can go back and watch that video if you haven't already. But I explained it with a whiteboard talking about the two different things. We had time-restricted eating, and we have intermittent fasting. Now, the difference between the two is really, and this is the meat of the video, and I probably should have just gotten to the point, It's really ultimately the same thing. It's just two different schools of thought in how they look at fasting. And the whole purpose of that video wasn't to really say that one was better than the other. I had been getting a lot of people asking about the difference. And the fact of the matter is, even when I dove deep into the research, there isn't much of a difference. Time-restricted eating just focused a lot more on the eating window, whereas fasting just focused more on the fasting window. But at the end of the day, it was very, very, very similar, and it ended up looking like it was just someone else creating another term for fasting, trying to ultimately create more of a buzz. And that's the point I was trying to get across there, was that don't dwell into it. So in an effort for me to try to say, don't overthink it, I ended up making everyone overthink it. And that was my fault. That was totally my fault, because I was trying to make it simple, and in an effort to make it simple, I made it way more complicated. So I do apologize, but it's a good video if you understand the gist of it. But I made one comment in there that confused a lot of people, and I feel like it needs to be explained. And that's talking about fasting every day. I think I scared some people because I said you shouldn't fast every single day. And here I'm going to get down to the real science and the nitty gritty of this, so I want to make sure you're paying super close attention because this is critical. You should not plan on fasting every single day. I talk about fasting being a lifestyle, and that's true. And the majority of your days that you are dieting, or the majority of the days that you are alive, yeah, you can be fasting. But I recommend fasting anywhere from 3 to 5 days per week, and here's why. If we fast every single day, eventually we put ourselves into this point where we are restricting the amount of calories we're consuming, and our body's set point, our basal metabolic rate, someone laughed because days are alive, you're alive, and that comment I made. Your basal metabolic rate will start to decline. What I mean by that is, if you fast every single day, your eating window is really small. So you're only going to be consuming, 1,000, 1,500 calories maybe. And if you end up doing that every single day, you get yourself to a point where you are restricting calories so much that your metabolism will slow down. Now, hear me out on this. This is where I confused people. And it's simply the fact that when you fast every day, you lower your metabolism a little bit. So if you fast 3 to 5 days per week, fasting remains the catalyst to improve your diet. Essentially, what you do not want to have happen is you don't want your body to become tolerant or build up a tolerance to fasting. Fasting is amazing and is a perfect lifestyle, but fasting every single day to an extreme that I usually recommend, like 18, 20 hours, it's just leaving a lot to be desired with your calories. So that's why let fasting keep its power. So by keeping its, what I mean by that is fasting is a powerful tool. So use it intermittently. Now, the words intermittent fasting end up having two different variations, two different kind of things, and you can take it, what's going on, man? You can take it two different ways. There's intermittent fasting coming from the side of you are fasting intermittently, meaning you're not fasting every day, or there's intermittent fasting coming from the angle of you're intermittently fasting for a period of the day. So there's two ways that you can look at intermittent fasting, and I really wanted to be able to explain that. And I know it confuses, you can hear the dogs whining because one of my guys just walked in, a videographer walked in, and the dogs are going crazy. So when it confused a lot of people when I talked about saying don't fast every day, that's me explaining to the masses, not necessarily everybody, but to the masses that when you fast, you want it to be a powerful tool that's going to exacerbate the positive effects of your current diet. So if you fast 3 days per week, those fasting days remain a very effective tool to help out your existing diet or your existing lifestyle. Now, you can also do the same 5 days per week if you're a little bit more advanced. You just have to make sure that when you are fasting on those fasting days, you're getting sufficient calories in throughout the course of the day. So I hope that that makes some sense there. There are people that can fast every single day as a good lifestyle, but that would be a much shorter fast. You have to understand that when I'm talking about these topics and these topics of intermittent fasting and things like that, you have to go back and realize that I've done hundreds of videos on these topics, and not everyone's gonna know my school of thought. I usually recommend like 18 to 20 hour fasts. So Timmy, relax. The dogs are going crazy over there. Guys, you sound like Tasmanian devils. Anyway, so like literally, I'll bring the dogs over here in a second. Remy, it's okay. Anyway, so the point is that when you are, okay, I'm gonna wait for 1 second. In the meantime, let's make sure that you comment where you're watching from and say hello and let me know where you're watching so I can wait for the dogs to chill out for a second. Okay, now I can get back to the facts. So, hey guys, actually, by the way, really quick, if you are watching this video, can you please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button as much as you can. Just hit it right now. Anyone that's watching, because that's what it's going to do, it's going to rank this video a little bit higher so that more people that are subscribed to my channel can see it. Again, the whole purpose of this video, just for those of you that are just joining in, is clearing up confusion from the video that I posted yesterday talking about time-restricted eating versus intermittent fasting. A lot of people, there were a couple things that were mentioned in that video that confused people that perhaps haven't seen all of my videos in the past, and I felt that it was a perfect time to be able to hop on a broadcast and talk about this and make some sense of it. So the short answer is, should you fast every single day? There is a subpopulation of people that should fast every single day or can fast every single day, but you're probably going to be fasting with shorter windows if you're doing that. You're probably just skipping breakfast in that case, right? You're doing maybe a 14 to 16 hour fast, but if you watch a lot of my videos going back, I usually recommend like an 18 or 20 hour fast. So if you did an 18 or 20 hour fast as your intermittent fast every day, you're really leaving a lot of calories out of the equation, and you're leaving yourself in a position where you may not have a lot of nutrients coming in. That's not good to do every day. So you all have to take a look at what is Thomas DeLauer's method of fasting, of intermittent fasting, versus maybe the mainstream sort of intermittent fasting that's out there. So that's why I say use fasting as a tool, even if it's done 5-6 days per week even. I mean, at least like leave 1 or 2 days where you're eating normal 3-4 meals per day, because then fasting remains super effective. Then you have fasting as a catalyst. It comes in and it exacerbates what you're doing with your diet. What you don't want to have happen is your basal metabolic rate drop. Okay, you don't want to have, let's say you're doing a 20-hour fast or an 18-hour fast 7 days per week. It's pretty darn hard to get more than like 2,000 calories in that eating window. I mean, if you were eating super calorie dense potential junk, then sure, that might cause you to get those calories up. But you're gonna do that every day? No, you're probably gonna be getting like 1,300 calories in if you're eating clean. Well, if we did that every day for the rest of our lives, by the time 5 years goes by, our bodies are gonna be totally accustomed to eating 1,000, 1,200 calories. Well, then what happens when you eat 2,000 calories, 3,000 calories? Well, then your body's gonna store that, okay? You're lowering your basal metabolic rate. So don't diminish the effectiveness of your fast. Learn how to fast properly and sprinkle it in intermittently. That's why I use the word intermittent, 3, 4, sometimes 5 times per week, and get those calories in on the other days so that fasting has the hormonal power to really leverage what you're doing. Can everyone that's watching just comment and say if this makes sense? Again, the whole reason I'm doing this is I have to be totally honest, fall on the sword, and say that yesterday's video might have been a little bit confusing, and I know a lot of you said you would have liked a little bit more attention to the whiteboard or text to explain it, and a lot of you just didn't like the whiteboard style videos in the first place, so I probably won't be doing those as much, simply because I think it confused more people than it helped. A lot of people saying this makes sense now, so I'm glad that I was able to do this video and clear this up. Awesome, you guys are great. I'm so thankful that you guys are getting it now, and I wish that I had explained this in that video, because I probably confused some people. Guys, if you also can you please make sure you hit that like button? That helps out a ton in terms of getting this video out to even my subscribers. Just so that you know, YouTube is switching a little bit more to an engagement model, a lot like Facebook, which means that even my subscribers won't see all of my content unless people are engaging and liking it. And in order to keep me from having to repeat myself in videos, it helps me a lot if you guys hit that like button so that the subscribers that I have can actually see this. Yeah, someone just said if people actually watched your other videos, they wouldn't be confused. There is some honest truth to that. I totally appreciate you saying that, because that is the honest truth. The fact is that there's a few hundred videos on my channel, and I don't expect everyone to be able to watch them all. I've got some followers that have been subscribed to my channel since it was a 5,000 person channel, and they've seen virtually every single one of my videos, but I also have people that just subscribed 2 weeks ago, a week ago, yesterday. And it can be really confusing because they haven't seen my school of thought, they haven't heard my reasoning behind things, so they just come into this video after seeing everything that's been out there on YouTube talking about fasting, and they're like, whoa, Thomas is all of a sudden saying we shouldn't fast every day? That's the point. So when we look at how fasting works, it is a powerful tool to be able to enhance what we're already doing. Don't lose the effectiveness, okay? So the way that I want you to look at fasting is look at it like nitrous in a car, okay? So if you guys have ever watched, Fast and the Furious, or you've watched it, they flip the switch for nitrous, right? And all of a sudden they go super fast. I want you to think of fasting like that with your body, okay? So you've got, you're running on good fuel, you're fast already, you're clean, you're lean, but you all of a sudden go ahead and you flip the nitrous switch. Well, that nitrous switch is your fasting. We want to preserve it a little bit. Only caveat and difference being that, nitrous is probably gonna be used once in a lifetime versus fasting being used a few times per week. So intermittent fasting is a lifestyle. It is effective. It is something that you can do a majority of the time, but I also feel like you should probably try to eat a normal meal structure a couple times per week so you don't totally get accustomed to this. So we got a lot of people, okay, I think I made it very, very clear. I think people get it. So thank you guys very, very much. So, there's a good question that just came up. I'm going to scroll down a second. Someone says, one thing I've been confused on is my view on 16-8. In previous videos, you said you don't really like it, but in other videos, including your program, you've promoted it. Yep. No, I want to address that too. So intermittent fasting as a lifestyle, that 16-8 or even 14-10 is a lot better as just saying like, I am gonna do this raw, every day, or I'm gonna do it as a lifestyle, and it's a great way to introduce. I need to actually do a video on like what is good for fasting for the introductory person, or excuse me, as an introduction for people versus what you should do intermediate and what you should do advanced. I think that would be a really good video because 16-8 and 14-10 are really good ways to just introduce yourself to fasting. The reason I don't necessarily think that 16-8 can tout so many of the benefits is because 16-8 is really just skipping breakfast, which mind you is a huge, huge step in the right direction. And if you look a lot of my commercials, a lot of my ads talking about even my programs and stuff, I'm talking about skipping breakfast because it's the most simple way to explain it to the masses. Because if you start explaining fasting to people, immediately they get cagey and they kind of freak out and they feel like fasting means they're gonna starve, they're not gonna be able to eat, all this stuff. But if you explain it from the side of skipping breakfast, it makes a lot more sense for people and it's a lot less scary. And I do want to be able to help as many people as possible understand the benefits of intermittent fasting. So that way, by saying 16-8 and doing this skipping breakfast thing, we're introducing people in a way and then indoctrinating them into the process where they can start getting more advanced. I hope that makes sense. So it's got a lot of other questions. Yeah, Patsy, a lot of people saying they'd love an introductory video. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do the basics of fasting at some point. I think sometimes I try to go a little too advanced for people. So does sleeping in the afternoon affect the first meal? No, it doesn't. You're good there. And then let's see, I'm looking at some other questions that are coming in. Guys, if you can, make sure you keep commenting where you're watching. What's going on, Dina, in Texas? Coconut oil during a fast, that would break a fast, technically, so don't do that. Yeah, exactly. Matt Pittman, you say breakfast equals break fast. You're totally got it. What if you're forced to fast because of school? Well, I mean, you'd be okay, but you're not in school 7 days a week, so you don't have to fast every single day. Miami, New Hampshire, what's going on? We got a lot of people here. This is awesome. Over 1,000 people in this broadcast right now. Guys, if you've just joined in, please make sure you hit that like button, and let's get this up over 1,000 likes really quick, because we're doing really, really good here. Sorry, another question just came up that I want to see. Hang on one second. Thomas, is there any way you can send work? Let's see. Oh, so how about having bulletproof coffee in the morning? Common question. Does bulletproof coffee break a fast? Yes, it definitely does. So Alaska loves me. That's awesome. I love Alaska too. My mom lives there part of the year. Okay, Florida in the house. Pre-workouts generally don't break a fast. You're usually good to go. I just want, how many hours would I recommend? My favorite is 18, okay? If you look at my programs and things like that, I generally talk about 16 because those are geared towards introductory people, getting people used to fasting. But I like the 18 window. 18 to 20 is a great window. Sweden in the house, what's going on? Chicago, what's going on in the house? We've got, does supplements break a fast as long as they are not fat-soluble vitamins, like soft gels that actually have oil, they won't break a fast. If they're water-soluble, you're good to go. So if they're like a hard capsule or anything like that. Berkeley, California, Portland, Oregon, awesome. I'm glad someone's doing the six-pack abs program and having success. That's awesome to hear. And that six-pack abs program is the fasting program that I wrote. And so I know I have a lot of people that follow my channel that follow me on other channels where I talk about more of an entry-level, intermittent fasting program. So I appreciate you guys being on here too. People keep asking about more workout videos. Yeah, definitely want to do some more of those as much as possible. I'll tell you some of the reasons why I don't do a lot of workout videos. It mainly has to do with the fact that it's what every other YouTuber does, and I think I have a unique kind of angle when I talk mostly about nutrition and mostly about kind of the science. But since a lot of people want the workout content, we are working on doing more of that. Glutamine does not break a fast, you're good there. What to drink during a fast, if you actually look, last week I posted a video on that, and that should help out a lot. People keep asking what I think about Dr. Berg. I love Dr. Berg. I think he's a great person to follow. I think if you look at how he explains things and how I explain things, they're very similar yet different enough to provide different insight. So I think you guys should follow him. I think he's awesome. And I actually admire the amount of work that he puts into his channel. So some people think that we're competitors because a lot of our content is similar. I think it's a good thing. The more people that see his videos, they generally see my videos in the suggested feed, so, and vice versa. So I think it's a great thing for education in general. So I think that I've really answered this. I know we still have people trickling in. So let me just briefly explain really quick for everyone that came in later. Yesterday I posted a video on time-restricted eating versus intermittent fasting. Confused a lot of people because I made a comment about not fasting every day. It scared some people and they thought sort of thing that they were doing everything wrong. Not the case. It's simply the fact that intermittent fasting should be sprinkled in 3 to 5 times per week so that it remains effective as a tool. Just like if you were to drink alcohol every single night, eventually you'd build up a tolerance and you'd start needing more and more alcohol. Well, the more that you reduce your calories, you're gonna have to start reducing them more and more and more and more to start getting a desired effect. So if you drop down to 2,000 calories for a set amount of time, your body's gonna require 2,000 calories. If you drop down to 1,500 calories, your body's gonna start demanding 1,500 calories after a certain amount of time, 1,200, 1,000, et cetera, et cetera. So we wanna make sure that fasting is always used as a tool to be a lesser amount of calories injected into the process, okay? So all of a sudden we have a random day where we're dramatically lower than what we normally are. That way fasting becomes not only a recovery tool, but also something to reduce inflammation and also boost your body composition, okay? So anyway, guys, I hope that this made a lot of sense. A video for women doing intermittent fasting. Let me touch on that really quick. Don't get me wrong, fasting is not bad for women. I wanna make sure that you guys know this. So all the women that are watching right now, and men, it's good that you know this too, because a lot of you have girlfriends, spouses, friends that wanna fast with you and everything like that. Fasting is not bad for women, don't get me wrong, but women need to modify their fasting a little bit. And I need to do a video on this, and I did one because a lot of women purchased my fasting program and wanted to know this. Women just want to shorten their fasting window a tiny bit, but they also just want to look for the signs. If you start getting really, really cold, it's usually a sign that your thyroid is slowing down. Just the female hormone structure is different because you have to preserve a lot more for your reproductive system than men do. It's a lot easier for, even if we look back at our ancestors, men would fast more than the women would. The men would go out and hunt and provide for the women to be able to make sure that they could bear children and take care of the kids, whereas the men would usually sacrifice and fast a little bit longer. And it has to do with the biology of the male hormones. Males can go a longer period of time with fasting than a woman can. So, but you can still have the benefits of fasting if you do it intermittently. Like women should maybe do 3 to 4 times per week, slightly shorter fast, 14, 16, whereas I recommend 16, 20 for men. Okay, so I'm gonna touch on that in another video. What's my opinion on intermittent fasting with a keto diet? Yes, definitely perfect when they're combined. Okay, they're absolutely amazing when they're combined, and that's what I would usually recommend. So you go your keto diet, all week, right? And then 2 to 3 days per week, you're just eating straight regular keto style, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the other days you're fasting, whether you want to implement carbs or not. Keto plus fasting is amazing, and they both emphasize and utilize the same kind of mechanism within the body, and that is producing ketones. Fasting produces ketones, as well as ketosis produces ketones. So I hope that makes a lot of sense. You guys are awesome. I gotta jump off because I'm literally here in the studio right now. And in fact, I'll show you really quick. So we got cameras set up. We got videographer over there doing his stretches because he gets that involved in the videos that he has to stretch and warm up. But anyway, guys, thank you all super, super much for being here, and thank you for allowing me to explain myself. And I know a lot of people said I didn't have to apologize and said that I definitely didn't need to do that, but I value my channel. I value what you all think. And when I see a lot of comments about a specific issue in a video or a specific topic that needs clarification, it's a good indicator to me that I didn't explain it super well. So this video was definitely needed. So thank you guys so, so much. Now, if you can, head on over to that video that I just did yesterday, the time restricted eating versus intermittent fasting. Go ahead and watch it. and give it a good old thumbs up, give it a like so that it gets boosted up and people understand that I came back in here, I did this clarification video, and defend me a little bit in the comment section from some of the subscribers that bagged on me because I didn't explain it well, because I'm trying to help you guys as much as possible. All right, you guys are super awesome. Thank you all for the congratulations on the baby. A lot more videos to come with him, and I look forward to doing another video here soon. And let me see how I can turn this thing off, because it's not letting me. Used to be a way to just end the video, but anyway, you guys, I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you again, and have an awesome day.